In this video, I'm going to show you some different garnishing techniques, just really simple stuff that can help maybe enhance the dish that you're doing. And it goes back to having good knife skills, and it's also good practice, you know, when you're using your knives. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to do some Zest of Orange. And the Zest of Orange can be, can be used in a number of different ways. If it's fine enough and there's no pith, you can actually have it going through a salad, which can be quite refreshing. Or you can boil it down and crystallise it in some sugar for a garnish for a dessert. So we've just peeled the skin, and we have been really lucky that it hasn't taken any of the pith as well. So all we've got is the skin. So the pith, this white bit here, is going to be what's bitter. So something like this would work really well. So all we want to do is take it a couple of bits at a time and cut it really fine. So keeping the board on the table, or keeping the knife on the table, on the board even. In terms of setup, we're looking at that good practice where we have our tools on the right hand side, our board secured, and we've always got somewhere to work to. So I'm working towards my tray. The last couple of bits. Again, only pick up what you're comfortable cutting. And you get quite a lot of zest from an orange. With the rest of the orange, some of the simplest garnishings is definitely the best. We want to keep, whatever it is we do, we want to try and keep it looking as natural as possible so that when we look at it, we know where it's come from, what it is. With the rest of the orange, what I'm going to do is segment. So we're going to top and tail. And then peel the orange. We're going from top to bottom and working our way around the shape of the orange. And it's important that we try and keep that round shape. It's still got to look like an orange at the end of the process. And we don't want too much flesh left on the skin. So using the slice that you've done before as a guide for your next slice. So the knife goes in, and I'm just following the line. So once you get that first one done, it really is and that's a perfectly peeled orange. The reason we've peeled it like that, as opposed to pulling it apart, is we want to segment it. And to segment an orange, you'll see the different lines between the segments. And all we want to do is very carefully just cut between those lines and remove the segments. Don't worry if you get a seed, we can remove the seeds at the end. And you can sometimes, once you get used to it, you can just pop them out and do one cut. And you get a really nice clean orange segment. And then just go back over at the end just to remove any of the seeds. And these can be used, again, maybe at the top of a cheesecake or at the side of a plate for a dessert. Again, it just looks nice and clean and natural. Again, garnishing, you know, it really has to only go on a plate when it enhances a dish. I wouldn't put it on there unless it actually had a purpose. So that's our orange done. Now I'm going to show you a couple of different things with an apple. I always feel when you're doing anything that the food's still got to look like the food you started out with, you know. So if you've got something on the plate that, you know, nature does a better job than we do. So if you can try and keep it as natural as possible. The first thing I want to do is just take a slice of apple. And it's as simple as just cutting the apple nice and thin. And you get a nice sort of little fan. You can do the whole thing, stick a skewer in and end up with a spiral, but again, it's probably not overly suitable for garnishing a plate of food. And you can go back in the other way and you can cut a couple of little ridges. Again, you can do a little garnish like that. From there, probably moving on to the cucumber. With a cucumber, I tend not to ever really serve the seed. So something like a sliced cucumber would be half quartered, de-seeded. And what you'll find is if you remove the seeds, you'll get a much better crunch and a much better finish. So again, a couple of ways you can be doing almost like little crudities. Again, these work quite well through things like salads. And little slices. Again, these work really well. You know, even through sandwiches and things like that. So you get a little slice. You can actually use the skin on a cucumber as well. Just remove the skin. And you can use that, again, just like the orange zest. And do a really fine little green shred. And I think what it does if a customer or anyone eats that little shred, I think it'll take them a wee while to figure out what it is because it still retains a very, very good crunch, although it might look like a shredded herb or something like that, but it really does keep a nice crunch. Again, always keeping your board nice and clean. Another way is quite simply ribbons. And again, when you're putting a plate of food together, you've got to think about textures as well, and making it interesting to eat. And something like that could really be the basis of a really nice salad, just lightly dressed. You know, some sesame seeds, poppy seeds, caraway, that sort of thing through that. And you get the sort of basis of a really good salad. Last but not least, our red pepper. What something as vibrant as that does is it really lifts a lot of colour. So if you get a dish that's lacking in a little bit of colour, it's useful to use something like a pepper. So the skin, again, can be used pretty much the same way as the cucumber skin. And again, it's all about texture with this and colour. So just cut that super fine. With the other garnishes with a pepper, okay, we'll just again try to keep things a little bit simple. So half and de-seeds. And what I want to do is just flatten this out as thin can be. And create just lovely strips, nice thin strips. So thinning that out enables each slice to be the same. And just with this other little bit, we can do a really fine dice. And what that's going to do to anything that goes in it, it's really highlighting colours. And then back through. And it's almost like little jewels, you know, really bright and will really lift anything that they go into. But the main thing is for me that all these cuts are really natural and you can actually tell what the items are. And that's just a few little garnishing ideas.